Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Coach, with a player like Jalen, who's obviously so eager to get back and has so much energy, how do you balance that and this desire to get him back out on the court with the overall long-term game?
Yeah, I think with Jalen, because he's been through this before, he's learning the patience that he has to have. Also with that fire to get back on the court, which makes his the work ethic that he is having during his rehab has been great because he understands how hard he has to work to keep that going.
We've talked with Jalen about his growth and maturity as a person. Just how helpful has he been to you, to the coaches and the rest of the team? Maybe when he hasn't been able to do absolutely everything.
I think you've spoken with him, and so he's talked about his journey, his growth, and what he's done since he's been here. He's taken tremendous strides. Just being able to see things in a different light. I mean, when we're doing some of the scrimmage, he's coaching the games. And so that helps him stay involved. That gets the voice with the teammates and understanding the game from a different perspective, which I think is really good for him as he goes through this.
Have any of the players' statuses changed in the last 5 hours or so?
Nope.
Coach, obviously there are increased expectations this season. Mm-hmm. When you're adding new players in and changing a bit the way you'll play, how do you balance that sort of win now mentality with also integrating and adjusting to a style of play?
That's interesting. I was actually listening on the way into a Nick Saban quote, and he talks about the changeover of guys coming in and out, and why they were so successful is because they always stuck to a process. And that's what we've talked to our guys about. Can we stick to our process and not focus ourselves on the end result? Because if we're doing the things we're supposed to be doing night in and night out, it will take care of itself. And I think that's been the biggest theme for our guys, understanding what our standard is, what our staples are, when you put on that Magic jersey, but trusting the process that you're doing all the right things to get to that next level.
Speaking of standards, Coach, two questions. What's the biggest area of growth that you've seen from this team since camp has started? And what are you hoping to establish this preseason, and how close are you to that standard?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I've seen with this group is probably the lines of communication with one another. I think they've done a great job of communicating the things that they see. Obviously having new players, their ability to, step in right away, ask the right questions, and then our guys being able to answer those questions. So they're learning how to play off of one another. Throughout the preseason, I think it's just continued growth. Are they doing those things at the highest level? Are they communicating at the highest level? Are they defending the right way? Are they understanding the schemes and the offenses that we're putting in? Do they get it? And are they continue to learn it each and every day?
This will be the last preseason game, so the last opportunity for a lot of the guys that are the training camp invitees. Mm-hmm. What have you seen from guys like Colin and Lester and the guys that have kind of been working in that group? They've been unbelievable professionals. Whether they're playing 2 minutes, 0 minutes, or 15 minutes, they've been fantastic. They come in with the same energy every single day. The want to and the get to be here, with the Orlando Magic. They've never shied away from that work. Coming back at night, doing the extra. They've continued to work, their tails off, and they've been just ultimate pros. You talked a little bit about kind of the process and having a process. What does it say about the way that you guys have, I think, won every fourth quarter and when those guys are mostly in? What does that say about the process that you guys have and how they've embraced it? It says a lot about our coaches that are doing a lot of the teaching, that they're picking up what we're asking them to do. A lot of times with the starters, it may be a little different because they've got a feel for each other. But the guys that come and step in the game without knowing if they're going to play, they come in and do exactly what's been asked of them. They know their job, and the old saying, know your role and then do your job. And those guys are coming in, stepping in right away to do it.
How you doing today, Coach?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good. Thoughts on Jace Richardson, Noah Penn to the rookies through the preseason, and how early can Magic fans expect them to maybe break into the regular season rotation?
Yeah, they've been fantastic throughout the training camp. Their work ethic, just like we were talking about the guys that may or may not play with the G League and camp invitees. I think they've been great just the same. They've asked the right questions. They've been in the right places at the right times, studying the film, talking with coaches. As for when they'll get on the court, I think that's going to continue to remain to be seen because of the work that they'll have to put in. And we've got some guys that are, also doing that great work that, are solidified in where they are and what they're doing. So But as you know, 82-game season is a long, long time, and so these guys are all going to get an opportunity at some point.